Swabs, hacks, and moonbats beware. It's Howie Carr.
844-500-4242. That is the toll-free number of the Howie Carr Show. If you'd like to join us here this afternoon, every weekday afternoon, 844-500-4242. At the bottom of the hour, we're going to discuss the amazing medical breakthrough this year. No flu cases in the United States. Well, actually 2,000. In a country of 330 million people, that's nothing, right? It's an amazing thing. I just, we have John Deaf on, and he's a ophthalmologist in Colorado, and he writes for the American Thinker. We're going to ask him, who's going to get the Nobel Prize in Medicine for this? Isn't it amazing? It's just like Charlie Parker was in the running when he cut the number of nursing home deaths overnight in Massachusetts from 9,000 to 5,500. That's bringing people back from the dead. It's just amazing what they can do with these numbers now. Is there anything they can't do with these COVID numbers? Whether it's whether it's COVID itself or diseases that are related. But we'll talk more about that in a while. 844-500-4242. Their earmarks are back now, and that's a big issue. We'll talk about that a little bit later in the show. But first, it's that time of day when we like to have some Joe Biden sound cuts, and we played a couple of cuts for you. I guess he was quoting one of his former colleagues, Russell Long, the senator from Louisiana, son of Huey P. Long, the famous the kingfish, as they said, and he was the nephew of Earl P. Long, the governor who used to run around with Blaze Starr, the stripper. Remember that movie? Yeah, that was a she was a protege, shall we say, of JFK as well as Earl Long. But anyway. And, he was talking about his first campaign, and it's forgotten now, but he was running against a guy named Caleb Boggs. And even then he had the Washington press corps in his back pocket. And they talked about Caleb Boggs is a decent guy, but, he's getting up there in age. He's 60 years old. 60. Now, Joe is 78. And, it's like Billy Bulger used to say, he said, when I first ran for office, I said, give a young man a chance. Now I run, my motto is, there is no substitute for experience. But, of course, Joe Biden can't remember what he had for lunch yesterday, so...
And that Circle Joe, he's a moving kind of slow at the junction. Petticoat Junction.
This is the one I found interesting today, or one of the ones I found interesting. Cut 2.
And I also want to thank President Wren, union president, ALCIO, head of the there you are. I couldn't find you. I
thought he just said CIO, but I think he said ALCIO. So
it sounded like there was a glitch in the stream that kind of skipped over a syllable. So he may have said AFL-CIO.
Yeah. Or he could have said, American League, Congress of Industrial Organizations. That could have been what he meant. I don't know. So, of course, it's important that we have to pretend, now that the COVID panic is starting to wind down, much to the regret of all Democrats everywhere, we have to gin up the climate crisis again. Even though, I don't think global warming is a problem, at least not in New England so far this year, but who am I to say? So, cut 3.
We can't deny it. There is a real change in the weather. And if we go 1.5 degrees warmer, we're going to be in real trouble, a point of no return.
The point of no return. As we've been warned by Al Gore, if we don't do something, New York could be underwater by 2010. Miami could be underwater by 2012.
You didn't hear the tornadoes and the hurricanes in the background while he was speaking?
Cut 4.
That's a recipe for disaster.
That was a recipe for disaster. Disaster. He's another one of these guys who bought an oceanfront home in the last couple of years. He's so concerned about the recipe for disaster that he just bought one. There's a story today, again, he keeps going on about this fair share, and we all have to pay our fair share. And it bears repeating again here. It was in the Wall Street Journal. From 2017 through 2019, Joe and Jill Biden classified a total of $13.5 million in book and speech income as profits from their two corporations rather than cash wages. Now, what does that mean? By classifying most of their earnings as corporate profits rather than wages, that allowed the Bidens, lunch bucket Joe, so worried about you and me, Mr. and Mrs. John Q. Six-Pack from Minytown, USA. It allowed them to avoid paying $513,540 in payroll taxes on their $13.5 million in declared corporate profits. Tax experts interviewed by the Wall Street Journal called the Biden's maneuvers pretty aggressive and stated they existed solely to circumvent paying payroll taxes. So in other words, it's okay for them to avoid paying payroll taxes, but the rest of us are greedy if we say, I'd rather keep more money for myself. We're greedy and we should be punished, but they should be allowed to take it off. Moreover, the $513,000 in payroll taxes the Bidens avoided were imposed by Medicare and Obamacare and helped fund both of those laws. During his campaign, Joe Biden ran ads claiming Obamacare is personal to me. Except it appears when it comes to actually paying taxes to support this very important project for himself. And again, let's go back to the seaside properties. Barack Obama and John Kerry on Martha's Vineyard. This guy's from Delaware, right? In 2017, the same year Joe Biden received a reported $8 million book advance. You think the publisher made back that $8 million? I'm going to say no. The Bidens paid more than $2.7 million for a beach house at the Delaware shore. Wait a second, I thought we were courting disaster here. At the same time, Biden told the local paper the move fulfilled a lifelong dream of his to own a beach house. But, he means it. Cut number 12.
Business picks up at the local convenience store, at the seafood market, at the hardware store, where centers of people's locus and their jobs and their economies.
The center of people's locust. We've had higher taxes, border invasions, the end of energy independence. Now we're going to have locusts.
I believe the center of a locust is called the thorax.
Cut 14.
Because, we had a tax cut the other team put in back in 2017.
2017. God, see, time really passes quickly when you're getting tax cuts and you have full employment, doesn't it?
In the year 2017.
Oh, man. Cut 15.
The fact is that, I'm not looking to punish anyone. I come from the corporate state of the world, Delaware.
The corporate state of the world. Okay, the corporate state of the world. Mike, you're next with Howie Carr. Go ahead, Mike. You there, Mike? Mike's gone. Rich, you're next with Howie Carr. Go ahead, Rich.
Hey, Howie. I go home. I get home from work and I watch the news. Yeah, I'm actually one of those people that's still working, but and I watch the local news, and this guy Biden, he's on the news practically every day, and the guy's an idiot. I can't even believe there's anybody out there that listens to him.
But Rich, the sound cuts we're playing, you don't see those cuts on the local news, do you?
No, very, very few of them. Yeah.
I wonder why that is. Why do you think why do they think they want to protect them so that maybe people that don't listen to talk radio or read internet websites know what an idiot he is?
I know this is going to sound wonky, but it's real and it affects ordinary Americans' lives, like the neighborhoods I come from.
Like the neighbors I come from. What is that? The neighbors you come from in the $2.7 million beach house, or the neighbors that made $13 million in 2 years and avoided paying $500,000 in Medicare taxes. God. 844-500-4242. Why buy gold? Are you watching what is happening in the world today? Global pandemic, U.S. debt piling up, spiking inflation, and the looming Biden tax plan. In the 2008 financial crisis, many Americans lost a large portion of their retirement savings. So, what are you doing now to protect your money? Well, many turn to Goldco, the leading gold IRA company in the U.S. and four-time Inc. 500 winning company. With an A-plus rating from the Better Business Bureau and thousands of five-star customer reviews, you can trust the team at Goldco to help you protect and grow your wealth. Go to goldco.com/Howie Carr to request your free IRA guide that uncovers the secret that financial advisors won't tell you. So what are you waiting for? Don't delay and fall victim to another stock market crash, inflation hike, or dollar decline. Visit goldco.com/Howie Carr to get your free IRA guide today. If you visit goldco.com/Howie Carr now, Goldco will give you up to $10,000 in free silver when you open a qualifying account. That's right, up to $10,000 in free silver. I'm Howie Carr.
Want more Howie? Click the Howie Cam on HowieCarrshow.com.